gather in healing, we gather together in love. Brothers, sisters, you are not alone. Brothers, sisters, welcome home. We gather together in friendship, we gather together in faith, we gather together in harmony, we gather together in God. Brothers, sisters, you are not alone. Brothers, sisters, welcome home. We gather together in hope, we gather together in tears, we gather together in laughter, we gather together in truth.
Good morning. Super cool to have people here. And it just takes getting used to the fact that there's people here also. So join me as we acknowledge that where we are here in this live center, we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Snuneymuxw Nation, Coast Salish people, and wherever you are, I invite you to take the opportunity to just acknowledge the land that you're on and acknowledge those people that have come before, that have cared for that land for thousands of years. And I also invite you to also acknowledge the people that are going to come after us and give them the strength and wisdom to also take care of this land. Welcome.
A place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent, come and share a hug, come let's pray together, come love and be loved. From the blessed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you. As an individualization of divine point of view, this door right here, oh, this door is open to you. Come on in. The God in us recognizes God in you. I know I always want to be there. You need a friend to lean on. Here I am, wherever you call. You know I'll be there. Let me be there in your morning. Let me be there in your night. Let me take what's ever wrong and make it right. Make it right. Let me take you to that wonderland that all of us can share. All I ask you is let me be there. Let me be there in the morning. Let me be there in the night. Let me take what's ever wrong and make it right. Make it right. Let me take you to that wonderland that all of us can share. All I ask you is let me be there. All I ask you is let me be there. Now for the start of the show.
This part always scares me. Words of wisdom. And then I have, of course, the person who knows me the most is laughing and mocking, and so it's absolutely perfect, right? We'll talk about this later, hon. So I had the privilege this morning of receiving a message from somebody who has been involved in my course on Insight Timer. And so I'm going to use that person's wisdom as the words of wisdom this morning. And it was around the idea of one of our 12 powers, order. And so seemed like what was happening was the tendency was to look at order as in, how can I order my day, and order of outside of ourselves, and the things that are out there, how can they be orderly? And the insight that they shared was that they had already done this day before, they were redoing it, and this time, as they were journaling, they realized that there was already order in their day. They already had a morning practice. They already had a way of organizing their start to the day, their ways that they had meals, the types of food that they ate, the prayers they would say before bedtime, the fact that they would journal. And this person realized that in their quest for abundance in their life, they were always looking at what they didn't have, as opposed to taking a moment to see what they had already created and being grateful for having that insight, for having the wisdom to have created order in their life. And so for me, what I took from that is one of my practices in gratitude has always been to be grateful for at least something that I have already. Either a gift, so for example, there's many times I am grateful for my hands because they have allowed me to play drums and to have that outlet and to be in that creative world. And so it doesn't always have to be, I'm grateful for this thing that came from outside into my life. It can actually be grateful and gratitude for your own gift. And imagine if you practiced that every day, looked at yourself and had a moment where you were grateful for one of your own gifts, one of your own things that you do very well. And it's not an ego-driven, look how great I am. It's an acknowledgement of your true divinity, of your already amazingness. Because nobody does something the same way as somebody else. There might be a similarity, but nobody's going to do, whether it's bake a cake or make a meal or journal or write something the way that you do it. And so taking a pause to be grateful for something that you already do really well is a great practice to look at every day. Those are my words of wisdom for today. Namaste. I'm looking for the slide to tell me what to do next.
We all do.
We all follow the slides.
Oh, slide, tell us.
I am grateful for the slides outside of myself for pointing the way. So sometimes it feels like we're pausing and we're really good speakers because we can just pause here. It's because we're waiting for slides.
They don't want to advance.
No, we're good. This is where we're supposed to be. So with that in mind, I invite you to join me now in prayer, and let's have a look inside. And I invite you in this moment to see what is something about yourself. What is a skill, a passion, a gift that you have, that you possess, that you can be grateful for in this moment. And as you think of that, as you bring it into consciousness and shine light on it, just bring a smile to your face and just enjoy and bask in the glory. And for this, we say thank you. After service today, if you're looking for somebody to pray with, you can join Margaret. She'll be standing by at 11:30 in the Zoom room. The link is on the screen or it's in the newsletter. You can just go there, and you may have to wait for a moment in a standby room till Margaret brings you in, as she might be with somebody else. But if you are looking for prayer, I invite you to take up this great opportunity to pray with somebody from Unity. Wow, some singing.
That's true. Am I on? I'm on.
Guess we should have sound checked first, hey?
We did.
No, we didn't.
The feedback's in the same key as the next song. If that
Okay. And every slide is in the right place at the right time.
And our souls are all here.
I was just thinking as we were singing, you know, I used to envy the evangelical churches with their rock bands, and people would come just for the music, and I'm sitting there saying, they ain't got nothing on this. So, 4 times this morning, I opened my computer to ensure that it would open at the right place. And guess what? Yeah. Anyway, it's in the right place now. So at our poetry meeting last week, one person shared a poem that they had written in 1985, I think it was, and had never been read out loud before. And this gathering at Unity was that opportunity for her to share in a safe and supportive place. And we all agreed, if not here, then where? Here we can be ourselves. We'll be accepted and included and not judged. So if I can't express myself here, then where? And that reminded me of a quote from U.S. Congressman John Lewis, who was so active in the civil rights movement. He was one of the leaders of the marches across the bridge from Selma to Montgomery from Martin Luther King's talks. And he would say, to motivate people, he would say, if not now, then when? If not us, then who? And I think we're at a time in history where we could, perhaps should, be asking ourselves those same questions. If not us, who? If not now, when? And if not here, where? Last week when he was talking about spiral dynamics, Thomas wondered why there aren't a whole lot more people involved in Unity. And he mused that a lot of people are not yet ready for this. They've not evolved past the stages of survival, not ready to explore new ideas, not willing to try doing anything other than the way our people do it, not ready to think anything other than what they have been told by people just like themselves. Still saying, let somebody else do that, I'm just taking care of myself. And I'm just keeping quiet and being small and not taking any risk and not putting myself on the line. You know those people, don't you? Believe it or not, both of my parents were very introverted. Where I came from, I don't know. They had no sense of self-worth or sense of personal power, and I never, ever heard either of my parents sing, not one note, ever. When I went to school, kindergarten, we stood in the auditorium every morning, we recited the Lord's Prayer, and we sang a hymn. Either the one about God watching me or the one about Jesus leading us off to war. If you ever really listened to the words to that song, but anyway. So I'm in grade 3 and along comes Miss Dumbleton. She came to the school to start a choir. Now Miss Dumbleton was English, with a name like Dumbleton, of course she was English. And she rolled her R's. And she had a grand rolling vibrato in her voice, and she sang, I better step back from the mic. She sang, cherry ripe, ripe I cry, full and fair ones, come and buy. And I was done for. I wanted to sing. I wanted to sing. But in our family, performing and drawing attention to yourself, it just wasn't done. By the 5th grade, I had a little friend who announced she wanted to be a movie star, and I was dumbfounded, jaw-dropped, aghast. I mean, to even mention the possibility of making a living in the arts in my house, it was a case of not here, not now, not me. But when I began attending a New Thought church and hearing beautiful music with beautiful, uplifting words, my love for singing was reignited. And I started to imagine actually singing in front of people. Who, me? What now? What here? Yes. And eventually I did. And I remember my first solo being unbelievably nervous. I don't remember doing the singing. All I remember is standing there at the end and my arms up. You know how when your feet go to sleep, there's that horrible thing? Because I don't think I had breathed during the whole song. But I did pretty well. And I think there were probably 3 or 4 notes that were a little pitchy. But those people heard the other 347 or however many notes there were. I don't think there's another audience or another group of people that I could have done that with. I could have felt that safe with and supported by. And so I began taking voice lessons in earnest and practicing and exercising the muscles in my throat, just like any muscle you exercise if you want to excel at something. And eventually I could sing in front of people. And I've had the privilege of playing some wonderful roles in musical theater, and even a couple with lead roles and solos. So to realize your dream, to feel safe enough to express who you are, and to grow and to be yourself, if not here, then where? If not now, then when? And if not with these people, then who? Because this is the place where we empower each other and we support each other and we cast a big vision, not just for each of us to realize our own potential and to feel free and to hold the dream, the vision, but to encourage every one of us to cast an even bigger dream for themselves and a common dream, a common vision of truth and justice and a world that works for everyone. So I say, why not here? Why not now? Why not us? I'm pretty sure you've all heard this quote from Goethe on commitment, but it's worth reading again and again and again. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. If not now, then when? But we tend to wait until all sorts of things have already occurred, and all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance, and then we'll make the commitment, right? But it doesn't work that way. We must take that leap of faith. Do you remember the biblical story of Jesus healing a young boy suffering from seizures, possessed by an impure spirit? And Jesus asked the boy's father, how long has he been like this? From childhood, he answered. It has often put him in dangerous situations. But if you can do anything, take pity on us and help us. If you can, said Jesus. If you can. Everything is possible for one who believes. And immediately the boy's father exclaimed, I do believe. Help me overcome my unbelief. Do you ever have that going on? Belief and unbelief at the same time? Do you ever say, I believe, and in the very next moment, you do something that undermines that? I think we all do, frankly. We say, for instance, that we believe that health is natural and eternal and that the power that grew the body can maintain and heal the body. And then we go and buy a lot of vitamins and supplements. And if we break our legs, we go to the doctor, right? Could we heal our own broken leg? Sure we could, if we could just heal our unbelief about that. Most of us are about 50-50 on our belief, at best. If we were 100% believers, broken legs would heal themselves before we even knew they were broken. Maybe some of us have done that, I don't know. I believe, ultimately, that all physical disease, ultimately, is a result of what Charles Fillmore called sense consciousness possessed with various erroneous thoughts. Our individual erroneous thoughts and our common collective erroneous thoughts. What Ernest Holmes called them human race mind misconceptions. When enough of us believe in the reality of something, it becomes real. When enough of us become convinced of the unreality of something, it will disappear. We think it's the other way around. Many years ago, I woke up one morning and I could not raise my right arm. It was just hanging there, completely paralyzed. I had ruptured a disc in my neck. So I had surgery to repair the problem, and I asked the surgeon, I said, how long will I need to be in hospital? He said, 5 days if you're good. He operated on Tuesday afternoon, and I went home Thursday morning. There is no doubt in my mind that my healing was so rapid and so complete because a bunch of little old ladies included me in their healing prayers. And because I truly believed in the power of prayer and in the power of my body to heal itself. At that point, I still needed the help of the surgeon to enhance my belief. My faith level at that time was probably about 80%. When it's 100%, I will heal myself instantly. But most of us probably won't develop that 100% faith instantly, in part because of the disbelief that we have to overcome, and because we continue to be affected by the human race mind misconceptions. Most of us will need to grow our faith over several years, probably. Humanity, collectively, that's all of us together, we're at a level of conscious development where we have created and experienced ruptured discs and all sorts of other ailments. At that same level of consciousness, we have created surgeons and medicines. So don't be ashamed or embarrassed when you need to use them. But at the same time, hold the high watch, the intention of a more complete faith and a higher vision for all aspects of your life and our common life. And so the question becomes, if not together, then how? Once again, we support each other in casting a bigger, more powerful vision for each of us, for humanity, and for our planet. Your board of directors met for a planning retreat for 2 days last week at the Bethlehem Center, and Kyle's going to show you proof of that. There we are. In planning the agenda, I had pretty much prepared a to-do list of things that needed to get done in order to have everything in order. Decisions to be made, bylaws and policies to be revised, budgets to be examined, etc., etc., etc. We pretty much didn't do any of that. What we did was listen to each other, to ask questions of each other, consider new ideas together, and open ourselves to possibility. And a vision, several visions, began to emerge, and you'll hear more about them soon. For one thing, we realized that the Nanaimo branch needs to have a spiritual enhancement and activities team too. And we need to have our C teams know what each other's doing and coordinated on some level. And all of the visions of the things we can do with our new studio and our excellent equipment and our tech team. Things like fostering local musicians. And how about this? Having, are you ready for these two magic words? I love it. Oneness conversations. Ooh. Conversations about the spiritual aspects of all the important issues challenging us today with expert guests from all over the island. We can do all these things. For me personally, I woke up in the middle of the night when those, you just have to get up and write it down ideas. And for me, it was a shift, my personal thought, was a shift in the way we present ourselves to the world. Usually we try to convince people what's in it for them, how unity empowers them, transcends and embraces and empowers people and all that good stuff. You're going to love unity. We got great music. We got great music. It's going to make your life so much better. But the shift for me was that why don't we help those people who are evolved to the higher levels of spiral dynamics, those cultural creatives that Thomas referred to last week? Why don't we focus on letting them know we're here? Because maybe a lot of them don't. So I came up with a very simple sample ad. And it said, we stand for justice, we stand for peace, we stand for Mother Earth. Join us. Unity, a positive path for spiritual living. So that's the kind of shift my mind took. And we're still sorting through all those little details and stuff we're going to do. You know how a gumball machine holds all those little colored balls of gum? I'm getting into a metaphor here now, just warn you. So the gumballs represent all the different choices, all the events and circumstances and the to-do lists of our life. Those are all those little balls of gum. But the gumball machine is so important because it holds all those little gumballs together. Otherwise, they'd be scattered and running all over the floor, right? So the gumball machine is the container, the context for all the content of our lives. So we're up to creating a new container, a new context in which to hold all the content, all the details of Unity Vancouver Island. What if that context is that? Why not us? Why not here? Why not now? What if we held that context for everything we do? Because if not now, then when? If not us, then who? And if not here, where? Then, here, then where? This is the time, and this is the place, and we are the ones. Thank you for being a part of it. Namaste. And so I invite you to join me now. Just settling in, letting all those thoughts just be without getting hooked or attached to any of them. Just breathing and just allowing life to flow through you. And listening to what Spirit has to say. What does Spirit see for Unity Vancouver Island? How does Spirit want us to get together in person? How does Spirit want us to reach out through the miracle of the internet? How does Spirit want us to serve and educate and love our children? What is yours to do? Let us picture in front of us our unbelief. Whether it's a cloud of gray, a mist, a wall, Let that unbelief be dissolved right now. See it falling away and being replaced by the joy of faith, by trust. Trust in ourselves, each other, our fellow man. And we just open our hearts and let the love pour out, knowing that we are creating a space for the vision to be birthed and to grow. And as you take in the next breath, feel the vision entering, moving throughout your body, flooding your mind, and healing your spirit. So allow yourself to come back now to time and place, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Wow. Wow. Okay. How's that for bringing you back to reality? Let's not worry about the pieces right now. Yeah, we're doing this one. We'll do this while you're singing.
It's okay, the batteries are good.
We get out the broom later. Thank you. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Didn't bother me at all.
Deep breath, everybody.
Sorry you've gone over time. It's cleaning time here.
Oh, Spirit, flow, and all my fears relieve. I am a channel for thy love and peace. Fill me with power and let my heart be strong. Fill me with joy that I may sing thy song. Heal, Spirit, heal, and all myself renew. I am expressing my perfection due. Fill me with love that I may loving be. Fill me with life that I may live
Theirs are still going after that. Don't know about you.
By the way, I take credit for that. I think that was me because I put that black thing up there to try to get a better image for the camera. I apologize.
Things ain't what they used to be. There you go. There you go.
That was awesome, Nico. Yeah, good job. Things you could do. I want to just cover again the fantastic retreat we had as a board this past week, and you know, I've had the great pleasure of serving on many boards from Vancouver. I was on the Small Business Council for the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade. I was the chair of the Kitsilano Chamber of Commerce. We had 600 plus members. I've been involved in a lot of board meetings and retreats, and nothing compares to the retreat that I was just on with the beautiful souls that attended our board meeting, and the openness and the willingness to get out of our own way and to work not from a place of what do we think needs to happen, but how can we empower this community in order to get what people are looking for. in order to build a place where everybody can facilitate their spiritual needs, where they can feel like they belong and they have the ability to bring their gifts to the table. So it's not about what can we do as a board, it's how can we facilitate everybody to be part of the community. And with that in mind, I do want to share something that has just really spoken to me deeply over the last couple weeks, and it comes from Martin Luther King, and it was referred to as Dr. King's beloved community. And he wrote, "It's a global vision in which all people can share in the wealth of the earth. In the beloved community, poverty, hunger, and homelessness will not be tolerated because international standards of human decency will not allow it. Racism and all forms of discrimination, bigotry, and prejudice will be replaced by an all-inclusive spirit of sisterhood and brotherhood." I think that is something worth standing for, and at this point, that is my commitment to Unity of Vancouver Island, is to be a stand for building something that resembles those words moving forward. And thank you, Patricia, for giving us a space to do that with your leadership. Yeah. So what could you do? Any of those things that inspire you to be a part of this community, bring them to the table. See if there's like-minded individuals that are also wanting to be involved in that. That's what this community, in my view, has become. A place where people can gather and bring forth their gifts and have it supported and appreciated and built upon by others bringing their gifts. Behind the scenes, Mondays at 7 p.m., this week's top stories and anecdotes. That's a Zoom meeting with Reverend Patricia. I think you asked me if I would take some of those, didn't you?
You said, how can I help? And I said, you'd be welcome to host it.
See, what could you do, Thomas? You could take some of these Mondays from me. Anyhow, it won't be me this Monday. However, Reverend Patricia will be there to just share what's going on and how you might want to get involved, and just to let you know what's happening here at Unity of Vancouver Island. So a behind-the-scenes kind of look, Mondays at 7 p.m. And poetry sharing with Dean will resume in September. Inquiries to deanrath@telus.net. After service today, with fellowship with Pat Clarkson, that meeting ID is on your screen, and the passcode, it's also in the newsletter. I believe it's the same one every week. So if you've been there before, or if you just jot it down once, you won't have to look for it again. And Victoria's Spiritual Enrichment and Activity Team wants to hear from the local Victoria gathering of humans. July 20th and 21st in the, looks like morning to afternoon, 10 to 2 p.m. July 21st, 22nd in the afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. And July 22nd to 23rd, 6 to 8 p.m. I'm wondering if that first one is 10 till 12, a 2-hour versus a 4-hour. Yeah.
10 to 12.
Yeah, it will be 10 to 12. There we go. Okay, great. And that's also in the newsletter. And Comox Valley's Spiritual Enrichment and Activity Team, they're having their heart-storming sessions July 27th, 2 to 4 p.m. With Judy and Tina. And you can email judymm@shaw.ca or call 250, well, you can see it on your screen. It's also in the newsletter. Get grounded and stay connected. So Monday to Saturday on our Facebook page, you can join Reverend Patricia at 9 a.m. for a morning mindset and meditation. And before service at 10 a.m. on Sunday, you can join Margaret or Dawn on our Unity page for a 15-minute meditation right before our piano interlude. Gratitude for board member Brenda for weeding, watering, and taking care of the minister. Yes, Brenda is here. For those that don't know Brenda, you can, there's Brenda there. Brenda's also the vice president of our board, And I just found out at our board retreat that how Brenda sees the vice presidency role is to make sure that I'm happy, because I'm the chair, which I was astounded with. I was like, wow, I have somebody that's dedicated to making sure I'm happy. That's so fantastic. I didn't know that. I went a whole year without actually utilizing that service. I'm hungry. I need some coffee. Anyhow.
And also, Thomas, let's recognize Brenda for bringing us all the treats for the production team.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Brenda.
She brings us cookies and baked goods.
Yes.
And they're so good.
And thank you to all of you for either your donations financially or your donations of time, however you are supporting our community, this beloved community that we are growing. We are certainly appreciative, and if you wish to continue to support us financially, you can send checks, of course, but you can also do a donation at donations@unityvancouverisland.com, and we say thank you for keeping us in good stead as we move forward powerfully. And please join me in our abundance affirmation for today. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me, for I know that divine abundance is forever manifesting itself in my affairs.
I send my love over the mountain. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heaven, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountain. I send my joy over the seas. I send my joy into the heaven, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountain. I send my peace over the seas. I send my peace into the heaven, and it returns to me.
Join me in a vision of Unity Worldwide Ministries, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And for our children's blessing, we see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you the way you are. Time for our prayer for protection. The light that is God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am one with the love. The power that is God protects me. I am one with the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am one with the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With love at our center, family joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.